Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading because today is the day of the full moon in Capricorn, which is also my birthday, my 33rd birthday. And so, as I mentioned in the previous readings for the preparation for this full moon, I am doing this collective reading with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards. So you see both of them in your reading today. And this feels like the type of reading that is not just guiding me for the full moon ceremony that I'm going to host later tonight, which you can find the link if you want to be a part of that. And I would love to see you there if you feel in your heart that you are supposed to be there, celebrating my birthday and honoring this full moon in Capricorn. So I do feel like this is guidance for this full moon tonight. And it's interesting because I feel like there is truth that wants to be channeled, that wants to be spoken, that wants to be shared for those who are ready to receive this truth. And it's not a truth that is conditioned by the one who is channeling. It's almost like this one source that is actually tapping into the gift that actually came in the previous readings about this gift that is ready to be delivered for the collective. But the gift is actually to be able to join forces with others who are sharing this moment of truth, so that, all of us can reach this pinnacle point to reach the source of this gift, the source of this truth, which in fact is not for each individual, but is for something bigger. It's like for this bigger purpose, which is the cleansing of the earth. So it is connected actually to the message that came through yesterday that was talking about this deep cleansing of karmic relationships, karmic bonds, very ancient karma that has been here on earth for eons. And now is the moment for us to go through this process of cleansing, this deep cleansing that is happening for the collective, because the earth is also ready to go into this mode of it's almost like filtering down what is essential for the new foundation, for this new earth to emerge. And I want to say it has to do with also how we perceive others, or how we perceive another, this other person that is serving as a mirror to us. And that's the reason why we're beginning with that relationship, which is very beautiful, because I feel like there is this it's almost like this honor, this respect, this admiration, this openness from both parties, the one who is channeling the truth, but also the ones who are receiving the truth, in a very intimate gathering, which feels pretty much like the full moon ceremony that I'm hosting tonight, which is amazing, which is also giving kind of like hints of what, can be expected for this full moon. So the opening card being this Queen of Swords is fascinating because the King of Swords has been like this constant presence, right? This divine masculine that taps into the truth. And yesterday, the Star Brother, so this very masculine energy, came up in that reading. And it was opening the reading to center the energy so that the divine feminine could find its own place, could find its own alignment. And it's interesting because here we are beginning with this feminine energy of the queen. And I mean, of course, you can flip it, it doesn't have to be, a reading for a woman. It has to do with the feminine energy. The feminine is ready, is aligned, from everything that we saw yesterday, is aligned to tap into the truth and to channel the truth because of a word actually that came with this card that was kind of like this, it's almost like the essence, the primary voice of truth, which is speaking with honesty. So honesty is the key word for this Queen of Swords. And it's beautiful also because I feel like it doesn't need a lot. It doesn't need like this, spilling of everything that she knows that she is tapping into. it has this simplicity in sharing this truth that feels so honest that it's almost like the ones that are listening, represented by the Knight of Swords, the ones that are ready to receive the truth are tapping into the same truth. Therefore, the one who is channeling this message, the one who is, being the vessel so that this truth can be spoken out loud, they are going to read between the lines. They are going to fill in the gaps. They are going to understand a lot more. It's like the words that the Queen of Swords are going to bring. It's like these are the words that are almost like how do I say? It's like they are doorways, so that these ones who are receiving these words, they can. It's like they can color their own landscape. They can create this visual. This it's like painting this picture provided by this one. It's like this one is providing the opening of the doorway to truth, but in a way that these ones have the freedom to continue to it's almost like to choose the colors, to bring in the details that are pertinent to each individual, and in a setting that feels very protected and very comfy and very cozy and very sacred, because it's the Hermit. But the Hermit here is not just talking about the sacredness of this group, of this coming together, and it's also talking about how each individual is going to tap into their own consciousness, into their own inner wisdom, which is something that has been also building momentum from previous readings. So it's like these ones, even though they are coming through as the Knight, it's just, I feel like the distinction between the Queen and the Knight today, it doesn't mean that these ones know less, because I feel like they are coming together. These two are coming together under the same roof or under the same sacred space because they share the same truth. And that is what I'm seeing here. It's like this coming together of this one truth, especially because the Ace of Pentacles is coming next. So the Ace of Pentacles is the gift that came in the first reading that I did in preparation for this full moon in Capricorn. So a couple of days ago. And this card was talking about this gift that is coming right after we end a very big cycle that has been, taking a long time to really end. But finally it's here, and it's able to materialize. It's able to be received, really, because these ones are coming together, how do I say, open enough, clear enough, first of all, that there is no hierarchy. It's just that the one that occupies the role of the Queen is the one that speaks, and these ones are the ones who are receiving the message, are the ones who are listening. But every single one under this roof, under this sacred energy, is tapping into the same truth, because it's like when they come together, it's almost like they create this geometry that enables something to manifest. It's kind of like, if you imagine that the Hermit also has, been polishing its skills, has been learning and tapping into their own abilities, their psychic abilities, right? Talking about like psychic abilities, but shared psychic abilities. This is not something that is, there is no hierarchy here, right? So it's not like a truth that belongs to one and it doesn't belong to the other. It's like it's a shared truth, but it's a shared truth because it's supposed to create a specific geometry and a 3D geometry because of the pyramid, because this is how, in joining forces, all of you, the Queen and the Knights, because I feel like these ones are a group, it's not just one person, but it could be perhaps. But I do feel like at least two people coming together, right? The one who speaks and the one who listens. And it's almost like, I didn't say this, but maybe I should. It's almost like this one is channeling something that actually is going through the mind of this one. It's reminding me of a dream that I had a few days ago. I was receiving it's almost like I was in a group of people and I was tapping into each person and I could hear what they were receiving, but they didn't have, in my dream, they didn't have a voice to speak. So I was the one voicing what they were receiving. And it was very interesting because in that dream I received guidance, and maybe this is part of this message for you. I received guidance in that dream, and maybe this is the Eight of Swords that is coming later on. That the thing that was preventing me from actually continuing to do that or to perfect, right? Talking about, perfecting skills, perfecting something that is like this innate ability of mine was because I was eating sugar. And so I needed to adjust my diet in a sense so that this geometry of the sugar, it's almost like the crystals of the sugar would not block this manifestation of tapping into this higher realm, this higher truth, because the truth wants to be manifested. It wants to be made visible. It wants to. It's almost like it's time for the earth, because the earth is at the bottom of the deck. It's time for the earth to see the truth manifested. So this is not just, for you if you're identifying yourself as the Queen of Swords, or for you if you're identifying yourself as the Knight of Swords, but it is for the larger collective. And so this truth, it wants to be seen. It wants to be made visible, and it can only come into being, into this material existence, if there is a specific geometry, and if the one who's channeling, just like I received the message, the guidance in my own dream, if this one is aligned enough with their own truth, because it's like it's sharing this truth. It's almost like, you know how they say that New Earth is going to be like this place where telepathy is common? And the only reason why right now we cannot really all communicate telepathically is because we're out of alignment, we're out of tune. And this is exactly what was coming up yesterday, right? So we needed to cleanse a lot of, old stuff, find this attunement, find this alignment, and release a lot of the things that have been corrupting our own body. And I'm saying body, like the physical body, because of the geometry that is, it's almost like we needed to learn each individually, right? Going into this hermit mode to learn about the physicality of the body, because this is how truth is going to be materialized through our body. We are the ones that are going to channel this truth. So if our body is not able to manifest the truth, then this geometry is faulty. It's like it's corrupted by the Eight of Swords. But it's fascinating because I feel like with the Descendant card that is here and then the Four of Swords, so the Descendant is pointing to the other, right? The Descendant in the astro chart, in the astrological mandala, is the one that opens the 7th house. So is the other. It's this partnership that is really, really significant. It serves as a mirror so that we can understand who we are, or we can see, from this other perspective who we are. And I feel like this is exactly what is happening with this full moon. It's almost like we've been, apart doing this solo work, this inner work by ourselves. But right now is the moment that we join forces so that we can speak the same language, so that we can tap into the same truth, because we are building this. It's almost like this collective geometry that is meant to bring this gift to this earth, which is the building of this new earth. And in doing so, it's kind of like the gift itself is to release a lot of karma from the earth. And so I feel like most of the karma is connected with relationships, with others, with people, that we have crossed paths with, not just in this lifetime, but other lifetimes. And it's like this humbling moment, maybe, this moment to really take some time with the Four of Swords to think about our partnerships and how perhaps in the past they were convoluted, they were tainted with, you know, a lot of pain, with a lot of misinformation, misalignment. It's like a lot of energy that was just dark and dense. This is the way that I'm feeling this. It's like this dark cloud, you know, hovering over all of our relationships. Perhaps we've been through like this history, right, of the planet, going through very convoluted relationships, and it's almost like going you know, bigger than that. It wants to scale up. It's not just, you know, us individually and another, right, as a partner, but it's like our partnership with the earth. It's almost like our relationship as, you know, human beings with the earth has been bound in karma, has been triggered by darkness, or has been just distorted, right? But it's like now is the moment, just because of, you know, the descendant is also wanting to tie back to yesterday's part of the message that was talking about how the sun being in Cancer and the moon being in Capricorn, it's like the divine feminine and the divine masculine are seeing through each other's eyes, are being integrated in a way that there is honesty, there is transparency in terms of acknowledging the others without hierarchy, right? It doesn't really matter who is the other. It doesn't have to be a significant relationship, although the descendant usually points to that. But it can be just another person that is in front of you, and taking the time with the Four of Swords to just enjoy that presence, that exchange. Because in being together, in seeing eye to eye with another, it's like just being fully present with another human being. I do feel like there is kind of like this liberation that happens, because it goes from the 8 to the 4. So it's like cutting by half the karma. So this is fascinating, because I feel like we don't realize the power that we have when we are together with others. And I mean, not just the ones that we know, not just the ones that we live together, not just the ones that we are more familiar with. I feel like this is pointing to this really profound liberation, karmic release that cuts by half the amount of distortion that has been, you know, around the planet, you know, infiltrating all of our relationships, if we simply take the time to be with another. And it's the same thing that I was saying here for the Queen of Swords. It doesn't require a lot, like a long conversation or a lot of words, or it's just being honest, right? Just being transparent. Maybe it's just the acknowledgement of, you know, seeing eye to eye and saying, I see you. And perhaps that doesn't even need to be said, right? It's just the fact that, you know, two people or more are coming together, tapping into the same gift. You know, it's almost like awakening the same psychic gift. It's literally making me think of telepathy, right? It's almost like this is the birth of telepathy in the planet Earth, because right now we are aligned enough, especially the divine feminine is aligned to the point that it can give birth to those also who are seeing the same truth, who are receiving the same truth. But it's like it's giving birth to truth, really, truth in the planet. And it's interesting because underneath the earth is the another knight, which is the Knight of Wands and the King of Swords. So this is really fascinating, and the South Node. So, I mean, talk about the release, right? This karmic release for the collective. It's like it's time for this past, you know, karmic bond that, you know, is just trapped in all of us, in our body, and, you know, infiltrating all of our relationships. It's time for us to all let go of this. And so we are doing it. I do feel like, I mean, this is just confirmation. It's like the divine feminine and the divine masculine, right, represented by the Queen of Swords, and now here the King of Swords, the ones who are speaking for the collective. But the way that I'm seeing the Queen of Swords in particular, it's like she's the one very, very precisely attuned to the spirit, to this, it's like to this psychic gift that I want to be very specific and continue to say that this is telepathy. It's like the emergence of telepathy as a gift, right? This is her gift in particular, but it's also the gift of the ones who are sharing this moment, sharing this coming together of individual souls, individual beings who have been working on themselves, and now they're ready to also receive that awakening, that birthing process of their own gifts as well. So it is kind of like the birthing of different gifts. For the Queen is telepathy, and for this King of Swords, it's almost like inspiration, because they are speaking to the soul, they are speaking to the fire, right? It's like the ones that are ready to be lit up, the ones that are ready to be creatively inspired. This is how the Divine Masculine is speaking to them. So the Divine Feminine reaches this level of the spirit, whereas the Divine Masculine is tapping into the soul, right? So it's almost like reaching different levels. So I wonder if like these two, they can be different people, right? A man and a woman, for instance. It doesn't have to be. It could be just, these two divine archetypes within you, right? So the feminine side of you is more telepathic, more sensitive, more intuitive, and is able to channel truth in a way that connects with others, and telepathically connect with others before even speaking out loud. And the Divine Masculine in you is connecting with the divine spark, the divine inspiration that is now ready to be birthed, also ready to be brought to life, right? It's like this inspiration that just boosts the creativity in all of us. So the Knights are not... I feel like these are different levels of, people. It's like the collective is ready to tap into this truth from different perspective, from different realms. Because the earth is ready for that. Because the world is ready for that. Because the collective is ready for that. Because we are reestablishing this way of relating to one another. Therefore, we are healing in a sense and releasing, purging a lot of the karma that was just infiltrating all of our relationships, especially this relationship with the earth itself. So she is our mirror, right? And like every single person that we cross paths with, right, represented by the Knights, these are the ones that are also going to serve as mirrors, as we are going to serve as mirrors to them. So this is the true gift. It's a gift that is unique for each person, but it's also universal in a sense that is revealing the truth, because the truth is being materialized so that we can heal this connection with the earth and with one another. So take your time with that. It's like enjoy, appreciate being in connection with others, right? And the earth. I mean, it goes, for the earth as well, for our relationship with the earth. So, with that said, I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go next. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. I'm going to leave the link for that down below. And also, just as a gentle reminder, tonight, 7 p.m. Brazil time, I'm going to host my second full moon ceremony for this full moon in Capricorn. And also I'm going to do... perhaps I'm going to see what I'm guided to do, but I do feel like I'm being guided to do a ritual for my own birthday celebration, since I'm turning 33 today. So it is a very special marker in my lifetime, in this lifetime at least. So yeah, if you want to be a part of that, if you feel it in your heart that you should be there, I'll be delighted with your presence. So I'm going to leave all the details down below for you to find the link, and you can see the details with the video that I announced it officially. And yes, I would love to see you there. But if we don't see each other in the extended or in the full moon ceremony, may we be able to see each other in another reading. Okay, enjoy this full moon in Capricorn. Bye.